Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Street Crypto back for another video. In today's video, I want to talk about VeChain and the VET token, as well as give my thoughts on the price prediction. So VeChain is currently sitting at 16.62 cents, seeing around about a 6% increase in the last 24 hours, sitting at a market cap around 10.7 billion. If we have a look at the all-time charts, we can see that VeChain had a huge run up at the start of this year, hitting 25 cents back in May, and then we saw a regression back down close to 6 cents late July, and we've been pretty bullish ever since the dip down to around about 9 cents at the end of September. But since then, VET has just gone pretty parabolic, nearly 100% gained since then once we approach 18 cents. Quickly, if you don't know what VeChain is essentially a blockchain-powered supply chain management platform. I'm not going to dive too deep into what that means, but just know that VeChain is very, very useful in the world of crypto, especially with issues going around with supply chain management at the moment. I'm just going to hop into some quick articles. So VeChain has a new consensus method that will have a new effect on VeChain. So VeChain had an explosive week as the market switched gears and announced the arrival of POA 2.0 phase 1, which had an impact on VET's price, of course. So it's an advancement for VeChain, but for blockchains in general, as it is the first protocol of its kind, and the VeChain Foundation describes it as a combination of different algorithms. I'm not going to try and name those, but essentially this is an upgrade to the VeChain network, and that's why we've seen a pretty explosive last couple of days for VeChain. Our next story comes from CoinMarketCap, as VeChain's DEX is to launch a governance token and yield farming program. So the VeChain ecosystem is expanding at a fast pace, and their first decentralized exchange and automated market maker called VEX will launch their governance token with the same ticker next week on October 9th. So that is tomorrow. Now that is really, really cool to see. So there's going to be a VEX to VET pair that could offer users new opportunities to max rewards. Now, why is this important? Well, it shows that VeChain is expanding its ecosystem and growth and is launching into new sectors in terms of yield farming. And that is really good to see, as more people will start to flock to the VeChain ecosystem and the VeChain blockchain. Next up, we got a new story by Altcoin Roundup. And so 3 blockchain protocols taking the supply chain crisis head on. First of all, there is a major crisis in the world right now, especially with what's going on with COVID, and VeChain is aiming to fix that. So VeChain has a proof of authority mechanism, which incorporates larger authority masternode operators whose identifies for variable by VeChain, whatever the fuck that means. But just essentially VeChain is a platform to battle supply chain management issues. Now, what exactly are these issues? Well, there are different sectors that are being affected because of COVID, and there's a lot of issues with the ecosystem at the moment, including metal scarcity, increasing freight prices, difficult demand forecasting, port congestion, changing consumer attitudes, digital transformation, and there's a lot of things going on right now. One example is shortages in GPUs, because there is a shortage of silicon and CPUs, and VeChain is aiming to fix not only these shortages but the whole management around that kind of thing. Now, that's why I think VeChain is probably one of the most bullish tokens out there, because its real world use case is already in demand, and it already has a proven product and is partnering with some of the major platforms out there. And then our next story came from September, actually, but I just want to talk about the VeChainThor mainnet and how it's reached 10 million blocks with no downtime. Now, that is a huge achievement, as the VeChain Foundation posted on its Twitter that a major milestone that is a testament to our public blockchain's scalability, security, and rock solid scalability. Sorry, I can't read. But essentially what this means is it shows that the VeChain product is not only reliable, but is actually working. Now, that's one of the biggest things you want to look out for in a project. If you're investing in some shitcoin that has no use case, I don't think the long-term returns are going to be as reliable as something like VeChain, because the product actually has a use case. Now let's get into my price prediction and where I think VeChain could go from here. Well, considering that we have a DEX launching tomorrow and we have new updates coming to the mechanism, I could see VeChain hitting near enough 20 cents in the next couple of weeks. That would put in a market cap around about 14 billion, and it would push it closer to all-time highs that are not too far away. But obviously it's going to take a lot for VeChain to come in to that 20 cents mark. If we just have a look at TradingView and have a look at VeChain and the USDT pair, we can see what I'm talking about in terms of the difficulty of reaching 20 cents, especially because we haven't seen a major pullback in VeChain for a while now. So I would say the difficulty is of testing support. I think testing support is really something that's going to happen. As we can see, we saw a dip down at the start of October to 8 cents, so we've gone 100% since then. But I would say that we've just had so many consecutive green days. I would call for some kind of testing of the 15 cents mark again. Now, I just think that's pretty reasonable, especially if Bitcoin doesn't seem to hold or break 66K. I think we could see easily 15 cents and probably 14 cents in the near future. It's all about this trend line that we're respecting right now, going through here. I just don't see us pushing past it without testing it again. Now, obviously that could mean that we test it and then come back and push up, but I just see a certain pullback in the future. Now, this would create an opportunity that I think is pretty good to pass up. Like, it's too difficult to pass up. Buying VeChain at 15 cents or even lower than that is just a once in a lifetime opportunity, I think, because VeChain in my mind is easily a $1 coin. If we have a look at market cap, we can see that VeChain has a circulating supply of 64 billion, which is a decent amount, but I think for what it's providing, a market cap of 10 billion is really, really low, especially if we have a look at some other coins out there. Cardano has a market cap of 68 billion, and its blockchain only went live a few weeks ago. So I think VeChain is heavily underrated, especially if something like Doge can push 37 billion. Obviously, Doge is a once in a lifetime kind of pump, but I think VeChain hitting $1 is pretty inevitable within the next year or so. But if you guys want me to check out any other crypto, let me know down below. But I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace.